Okay, so just let me see if I got all of this straight. I'm gonna retell it as I understand it. So, last Monday, around 7 p.m., you get a call from Sergio, telling you that you need to do him a favor to repay the thing he did for you a year ago in Prague. He tells you to pack a flashlight, though he won't tell you why, and to meet up with Herc in half an hour at the old train yard. So you grab your mag light, a few snack bars, your Leatherman tool, and head out on foot. You arrive 5 minutes early, Herc is 10 minutes late. So to pass the time you lie down on an abandoned shipping crate and watch the clouds tinged red by the setting sun. There aren't many clouds, just a couple of light and fluffy ones, but they move by quite rapidly, even though down at ground level there is no particularly strong breeze. The clouds are colored a pastel pink by the sunset, and 2 flocks of birds can be seen migrating south for the coming winter. One of the clouds is shaped like a bird as well. In the distance, you can hear the sounds of the city, but faint, a subtle reminder that there is life all around you. It keeps you from getting your mind lost in the sky. That's when Herc shows up, and after exchanging pleasantries because you hadn't seen each other in a few months, you both get into his car. He drives due west for about 45 minutes, and you catch a nap on the way, so you're not really sure where he's taken you. You've been there before, but had been asleep then as well. It's a remote forested area, and the sky had already darkened considerably by the time he wakes you up. There's a log cabin there, well made and fairly new, with a carport and a beautiful bench that looks handmade. Aside from the wind chimes hanging from the porch, it's very quiet. Only the sound of the soft wind rustling the autumn leaves and a few stray birds give contrast to the chimes. Herc sits on the hood of his car and lights a cigarette, motions you towards the shed left of the main house. You find the door locked, but not with a key. The latch is screwed into place, explaining why you took the Leatherman tool. You unscrew the lock and enter, using your flashlight to illuminate the room. In there you find and take an axe. The axe is old and worn from use, but well cared for. The handle is smooth and comfortable, the blade sharp. You go back outside and see Herc still smoking his cigarette, watching the first stars appear on the early night sky. You walk up to him with the axe in your hand and ask if he's ready. He puts the cigarette out and follows you behind the house, where you flip the weatherproof switch to turn on the lights, revealing a respectable amount of wooden logs. Sergio wants to spend the weekend at his cabin with his fiancée, but needs wood for the stove and the fireplace. You and Herc take turns. One brings over a new log whenever the old one has been split, and moves the split parts to a different pile. You switch every half an hour. Within a few hours of hard work, you have almost finished with all of the logs when you are standing near the pile of split wood, a couple of meters away from Herc, his axe, and his latest log. Then he splits it and strikes something hard embedded in the wood. You hear a metallic clang screech and see something electric gleam slithering up the axe and into Herc's hands. His eyes change to a vibrant greenish glow immediately, and without a moment of hesitation he throws the axe at you. The next time you awake, it is in St. Fortil Hospital, and a week has passed. You have no idea what happened to Herc and where he is now, nor do you have any explanation for the subsequent disappearance of hikers in the area. Did I get all of this correct? My telepathy isn't the most precise at times, but it seems your inability to move made the barriers of your mind very permeable. All right. I'll leave you to your reconvalescence then. Get some rest. Field Journal of Private Timothy Pike, Operation Warthog. Day 1. Dear Journal, we all died today. My unit, Warthog 1, was ambushed 4 hours ago, and they killed every one of us. Regardless, here I am writing this journal. You figured that one out. I have no idea. I died. 30 minutes later, I looked at my watch and noticed that my arm had reclaimed its previous position at the side of my shoulder, and I had eyes to read the watch with, and I was in general really surprisingly uncorpse-like. I'm feeling positively fine now. I don't know. Maybe I never was really injured. Maybe I just imagined that thing where I fell over on my side because there was no longer a leg there and couldn't stop my fall for lack of an arm. But I kind of fear there may be something else at work here. Gift horse, mouth. I'm here, I'm fine, and I'm going to... Well, I can't go back. Sole survivors are treated as traitors if their mission wasn't completed. So I'm going to go on ahead. Try to complete a mission for 50 men on my own. Since the transport is destroyed, I'm going to have a relaxing 200-mile walk ahead of me. Through enemy territory, without support, backup, or supply lines. Well, on the upside, I might be immortal. Not willing to put that to the test, but I'm here when I shouldn't be. So man up, Pike, count your blessings, and keep buggering on. I'm going to take a nap now and get moving once the sun comes up. The wraiths don't see us well during the day. I'll update whenever I make camp, just in case I come home a hero and want to save time writing my memoirs, so... Also because it's kind of like talking to someone and I feel very, very alone right now. Later. Day 2. Something isn't right here. I went back to the site of yesterday's massacre to salvage what I could and found something of mine. Arm, leg, blood. Now granted, while my pants aren't entirely regulation and somewhat distinct, it's possible that somebody else in the unit may have recently made modifications to their outfit close enough to make it easy to mistake the bloody mess on the ground. And who knows, maybe I'm some sort of super mutant, able to regrow limbs, but... The arm was wearing my watch. My watch, the one I am also wearing, with the goofy face from an old children's TV show and the inscription that clearly marks it as uniquely mine, except that now there are 2. I have no idea what's happening, but I kinda don't even want to know. Whatever the answer to this riddle, it won't be very happy. Though I am unmistakably alive, I used the vital reader from our transport's medkit and it said I was in very good health. Not dead. Not missing the arm and leg that are very distinctly lying at my 2 healthy feet. I don't like creepy shit. Never did. And now I myself am very, very creepy. But I can't dwell on that, of course. I've got to keep moving. Spent most of the morning at the site and far too long on this lunch break. Discipline, Pike. Isn't that what they tried to teach you? Go! Did you know that they now have the technology to implant a projector behind your eyeball, just in the lining of your ocular cavity? The projector is super, super tiny, so you don't feel it, of course. It's about the size of a single grain of castor sugar. You know castor sugar, the superfine white sugar? You might use it to dust a donut or cookies. A single grain of that, and that is the size of the projector they can now install in the back of your eyeball in the ocular cavity, and this little thing will then project using some sort of laser, I guess, an image directly into your eyeball, onto the back of your eyelids, so that when you close your eyes, it's not the darkness you may be used to. Instead, it gets replaced by whatever the projector puts out. That might be a AR, augmented reality interface, might be some special wavelength interface like X-rays, though of course they are not without their problems, so that's not a popular modification. Could be anything, could be just the output of your gaming device, so whatever you like. It can put it on the back of your eyelids, and when you close your eyes you can see it. Open your eyes and it's gone. It's an amazing piece of technology, if you ask me, especially since it doesn't require, of course it's the size of a grain of caster sugar, doesn't require any batteries or whatever. It taps directly into your body's energy, like you don't have a power plant inside you, as it were. There's no electricity coursing through you, not a whole lot, of course, but still you can move, you can breathe, you can talk, which are all sorts of breathing, sorts of moving, but you know what I'm saying, right? There's energy inside you, even if it's not electrical, and this little tiny super microscopic device will just tap into that energy and keep itself fueled for eternity. The images it projects onto the back of your eyelids. They come from outside, of course. There's not enough room for a processing unit of any description. It's really just the projector and the reader to make sure that if you use it as an augmented reality interface, it can track your eye movements. So the images are transported to it through wireless signals, and you can basically attach whatever application you like to the process, and it'll output that directly into your eye, which is usually absolutely fine. You want to have it as versatile as possible, because once you've got a little projector installed into your eyeball, you're going to want to use it, right? But here's the thing, though. Encryption is never perfect. Any security can be cracked, given enough time, resources, and motivation. And it appears that now they have done just that with this projector. Just last week there were several news reports that people have been seeing images on the back of their eyelids that they didn't cause themselves. Their programs didn't have these images in them. They didn't open any galleries, whatever, They just didn't do anything, and then their projectors displayed images they didn't know where they came from. So it appears that somebody has hacked them. And you may be thinking pranks, you may be thinking criminal endeavors, but worst of all is going to be the advertising industry. Just imagine a device that you yourself willingly implanted into your eye, which, when you sleep, when it recognizes that you're sleeping because your eyes aren't moving as much, or they are moving more regularly, I don't really know how to identify the different sleep states, REM sleep, the others. But yeah, it recognizes where you are, it knows when you are most susceptible to suggestion, and then it's going to play an advert on your eyes. That's devious, But of course there are also criminal possibilities, like implanting suggestions or triggers, brainwashing. And of course there's the potential for pranks, which is generally not a problem, but if you do it while somebody is using his augmented reality interface to, for example, pilot a motor vehicle, that could be catastrophic. But still, I don't think I would want to give up this technology just for the security of always having the option of closing my eyes and not seeing anything. Which, yeah, okay, if you get this projector, you're incapable of not seeing anything unless you actively disable the wireless signal, and even in that case it will just output white. It's never off, it's always on, always drawing energy from your body, always outputting it to the back of your eyelids. If your eyes are closed, of course. If they aren't, it'll just give you the typical eye shine, which, yes, also security risk. Somebody with sophisticated camera technology might be able to pick up on the signal from coming from your eyeballs, but come on, let's be reasonable here. So yeah, I suppose you do have one, otherwise why would you have been listening to me for this long, talking about this technology? You, of course, know that this isn't an advertising spiel, because it's not being played at the proper advertising channels that are allowed by law, so this cannot possibly be an ad, and you know that it can't be an ad. But if you would like one of these, I can give you a really good discount, since we're pals. Okay, so if you want one, just hit me up. Get you a good deal. Hell, I'll even implant it myself if you want. Save on the cost of getting a doctor, I can't do it. I've done it 1,000 times. Okay, maybe I've done it 12 times, but still, nobody's died from it yet. And nobody's going to die from it, ever. So, okay, if you don't have anything to do tomorrow after work, just hop on by, get you one of these, and you'll love it. Alright, I hope that you enjoyed this presentation by your in-ear projector, in-ear sound projector. I'm sorry that it's a little haphazard, but I don't have much talent for hacking, and I had to do this basically on the fly. Have a pleasant night, sweet dreams and all that, and when you wake up, remember me, come over, get one of my projectors implanted, and it isn't any worse than the sound projector you have in your ear, I promise. No, both can be cracked, both can be used for nefarious purposes, but what are the odds? I mean, of it happening twice to you, since right now, of course, I am doing that. Don't even sweat that. Just hop on over, get a projector once you wake up tomorrow. And if you would like to get other people to get a projector as well, if you show up with 3 friends, all 4 of you want the projector installed, and yours is 25% off, just saying. Alright, I'm going to let you sleep now, so night, bye-bye.